Thank you so much, and good evening, members of the PEP and Chancellor Carranza. My name is Kim Watkins. I am the president of CEC3, and I want to speak tonight about the two contracts on private nursing companies. Long before COVID-19, New York City schools were dealing with a public health crisis, a lack of full-time nurses. Despite operating more than 2,000 schools, the city only employs around 1,400 nurses. It outsources others through private companies to the tune, as I understand it, of around $100 million every year. That need is going to increase, obviously, as schools open back up. So while I understand that the vote on these contracts is a requisite vote for the potential to hire new nurses, what is important to understand, especially for all of the other participants on this call that don't know this issue very well, we are perpetuating a major problem that has been developing for nearly a decade. New York City schools needs to look at nursing, school nursing especially now, as an essential service, and we need a full-time nurse in each of our school buildings. Back in late 2018, my colleagues and I from CEC3 held a public meeting where Dr. Roger Platt from the Office of School Health explained this employment structure, an unusual structure, to our parents. And we couldn't believe how unusual and sort of confusing it was to have 2,000 schools where only 500 are employed full-time by the DOE or thereabouts, 900 are employed by the DOH, and that these are the full-time nurses, but the rest are pulled and employed, or staffed rather, by these contract nurses. Looking to private nurse companies to sort of deal with the unusual staffing situation between the DOE and the DOH, different union contracts, different benefits, different pay structures, is kind of the main driver, it seems, for having so many agency contracts, in addition, of course, to the national shortage in the career, which is understandable. But taxpayers are paying for profits to private vendors, and they don't pay their nurses very well. And we're outsourcing an essential government job that is really important now, because the one thing about contract nurses that's really difficult to kind of pinpoint and understand is that they don't have access to the automated student health record system. So when they see a student, they have to rely on any written records that are available on that student, and then they would complete a written document, sort of a chart, a physical chart, which technically should be entered into the written record, the online record, but can't be. And that automated record also informs the New York City syndromic surveillance capability, which is a database of citywide disease information that is more important than ever. So I urge the PEP to vote no on these contracts so that we can tackle this problem head on, give nurses the essential sort of employment structure that they deserve and that our students deserve as well. Thank you.
Yes, Kim.